And the Oscar goes to Parasite.
On the 9th February, the South Korean movie Parasite caught the attention of the world. The movie won 4 Oscars including Best Picture, Best Directing, Best International Feature Film, and Best Original Screenplay. It was an historical moment on the world movie scene.
Thank you. I will drink until next morning. Thank you.
Here in Ireland, lots of students from South Korea as well as Korean culture fans expressed their great excitement on the film's success. TheCity.ie joined the screening of Parasite, which was organized by Korean Society at Trinity College Dublin just a week after the Oscars. We asked the attendees about their thoughts on the movie.
I have to say I'm really tired because the movie took so much energy to watch because there's so much tension in it. It's really like my hands were in my hair the entire time.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like you never know what's going to happen next. So you're always like tense and nervous.
It is the first time for South Korean movie to win at the Oscars. Also, Parasite became the first non-English language film in Oscar history to win the award for Best Picture.
I think when I first found out about it, I couldn't believe it. I was so shocked. First because it was the first foreign award and also because it's from Korea. I think it's so amazing that we get to be up in the Oscars, which is not really a platform for Korean movies or any foreign movies.
By the way, there would be lots of people in the world who think about K-pop or K-dramas as a South Korean leading culture.
I think K-pop has just kind of exploded. It kind of just went viral, whereas with movies from Korea, like K-movies, as I personally like to call them, with this award, I think it's just another stepping stone. So while it is definitely, going upwards, I wouldn't say it's at the same level as K-pop, not yet at least, but it is definitely a big step forward.
As Matt has explained, the explosion of K-pop and K-dramas have been a big phenomenon firstly in Asia and now throughout the world. For example, the American TV series The Good Doctor is based on the award-winning South Korean series of the same name. Also, the presence of BTS in the Western music scene cannot be ignored. However, when it comes to movies, South Korean movies have not been as iconic as K-pop and K-dramas so far.
I think out of K-movies, I didn't really watch too many. I only actually watched the horrors just because they do it very, very differently in comparison. And from what I heard, Parasite is a thriller, which is quite similar, so I can only assume they took a very different approach that isn't as common in the Western world, and that's what makes it really unique and different.
If we have a closer look at the history of the South Korean movie industry, we find some sensitive issues.
Funny thing is, at that time, when I was young, it was 1970s and 80s when I was in elementary school. South Korea was under the military dictatorships. The whole culture is very conservative. So whenever I watch the great films in the TV, almost of them were slightly or censored. There was a censorship. So
GQ magazine explained that 70s and 80s are known as Dark Age in South Korea's cinematic history because of the censorship experienced under the dictatorship. However, this began to change in 1997 when the ruling party handed over power to the democratically elected opposition and Kim Dae-jung became president. In the same year, movie censorship was eliminated by the Korean Constitutional Court. Parasite is the latest work from Bong Joon-ho, who himself experienced a difficult period in the South Korean movie scene. It is said that Parasite has one message which could be common all over the world.
There is a very big gap between the poor and the wealthy in Korea. So we all try to do our best, but because of our backgrounds, it's always different. But in Korea, I feel like that's really strong, because there's such a big division between the wealthy and the poor.
One house is a mansion with a wide window with lots of sunshine, and the other house is built semi-underground and hardly captures sunshine. The house so-called Panjiha in Korean. The award-winning movie Parasite is definitely posing a fundamental question to all of us in the world.